Just collected all dogs and on the way up to the field. So it's Wednesday and it's another quiet day. So no Willow, still on holiday, and no Star and Dotty for a while. So it's just the three that we had Monday. So Reggie the Lurcher, Bumble the little Bichon cross, and Denny the Staff cross. And then my two, Buzz and Archie. And might have Piper, Miller's dog. It is raining today. It doesn't look like it's going to stop. Luckily it's not like heavy rain, it's sort of light rain, but I think it is be one where it is just constant like that. But I'll try and get some videos today of them playing and having fun. I'll get out there now so I can get out, so they'll be getting impatient back there. So luckily it's only about 7 minutes from Bumbles to get up to the field, so I'll see you when we get there. So on Wednesday we started off by doing some climbing up on the tyres. So this is great just for a bit of confidence building and core strength building. So obviously the tyres move underneath them, so it'll build that core strength for them and build some muscles up in their legs. So obviously this is something that all breeds can do and all ages. So they've got to really think about where they're putting them paws, and obviously doesn't matter if they're sort of older, like Reggie, Bumble and Archie, or they're young like Buzz and Denny here. They can all join in with this one. So Reggie is, we think, about 9 or 10, and Archie's 14 and a half. So obviously it is something all breeds can do, and ages. Obviously you can do it for little dogs and for big dogs. So once we had a little play in the field, we did go for a little walk because it was a quieter day. We didn't have quite as many, so we decided to put a long line on Reggie and on Denny just because their recalls aren't the best. And we went for a little walk. Buzz found the water, of course, and he did go for a swim. So around the corner it was a bit deeper and he went for a nice little swim. And then the little dogs weren't too impressed because it was really muddy and slippery, so they didn't necessarily want to be out too much on this walk, so we didn't go too fast. We just kept it nice and slow, just so they didn't have to slip around on the mud. And Reggie, of course, in that overgrown area, just having a little sniff around. Obviously being a sight hound, we don't necessarily trust him too much off the lead too much. We then headed back to the field so they can have a little run round and play before we head on back home. As you can see, these three love each other. They'll have zoomies together most days. And then on Thursday it was a bit of a busier day, so we did some more dog walk practice for some of them. So Denny and Bumble have already done it. Then little Lola the Dachshund, she did it for the first time on Thursday. As you see, I picked her up and put her up on it just because she was a little bit unsure of getting up on it to start with. So I picked her up and encouraged her over, and then we just built it up so she was further and further back on the dog walk and doing more of it going over. I then tried to encourage her up onto it, but she still wasn't quite sure about getting up on there, so I didn't force her to do it. We'll never force any of them to do anything they don't want to do, so we don't want to knock their confidence. this little Teddy. Again, this is the first time he did the dog walk on Thursday. So I think this is about his third or fourth time over it on Thursday. But yeah, this is the first day he'd seen the dog walk. As you can see, he's a little bit unsure, so I gave him treats as he was going over. I did offer the same for Lola, but she wasn't taking treats, she just would rather run straight over. So obviously we do adapt how we reward them to each individual dog. Obviously some dogs prefer less rewards, they'd rather just run over and then get the reward, and some dogs, more like Teddy, who we do reward a little bit more on the dog walk. In this one I did reduce the amount of treats he got, just because obviously we don't want to be giving him loads of treats going over. We do eventually want him to go over just for the one treat. And you see here, he does put himself back up on the dog walk himself. So he's getting a little bit more confidence on it, and realising it is a good place to be and it is somewhere he will get treats. And then we had another little go with Lola. You can see we got a little bit further back on that one, so she was having to do a little bit extra on it. And then this one, she did pretty much the whole thing all by herself. And then she goes in to see, round to see me. Then on Friday, which is today, we had a training walk for Denny. So this is on her own. I took her out because she can be nervous reactive. So we are teaching her to be able to sniff and disengage with the world around her when she's a bit unsure. So we'd rather her go and sniff than bark and lunge at people or dogs. So she does this because she's nervous rather than actually reactive or aggressive. So you can see on this bit she's a little bit more unsure, because this is a busier section of the road which we haven't done before, and it's just a little bit busier, a bit more for her to take in. So we take it at our own pace, just so we don't undo the training we've already done. And eventually we'll be able to go a little bit further, and this bit she'll be able to do without any problems. I also had Barney in today for a one-to-one. So Barney is I think he's about 13, 14 months old. He's a cockapoo. So he is just an excitable young dog. Pulls on the lead and gets really excited by other dogs, and his owners can't get his focus back when there are other dogs around. So she wanted to work on that. So she's getting his focus when there's other dogs around and walking on a loose lead. So we gave her a few bits to work on, both on the normal lead for walking and when he's on his long line working on recall and they come across other people and dogs that she doesn't necessarily want him to go over to say hello to. Because obviously not all dogs are going to be friendly. There might be times that she's in a rush or something like that, and she doesn't want him to go up to that other dog because she needs to keep going. So Miller then walked Bumble for me. So they went up to the big field up near where Bumble lives, had a little wander and go through the woods. She took her spaniel with her, because they love each other. For some reason, Bumble just loves Simba, even though they never really play. They sniff around together, but for some reason, he just really likes Simba. Yeah, that was pretty much our last couple of days. Not really much planned for the weekend. Might take Buzz out for a walk. Archie is knackered, bless him. So he'll probably stay at home in bed all weekend, and I'll either do some training or a walk for Buzz, probably tomorrow afternoon or Sunday. Obviously, see how he is. So he has had a busy week as well. You can see he comes out every day with me, really. Runs around, plays, and everything. So obviously, I like to give him at least one day for rest each week, just so obviously his body can rest and recover. So hope you all have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.